Sean Haney here with RealAgriculture.com. We're at Farm Tech in Edmonton, Alberta at the Northlands Expo Complex. We're in the Real Ag Lounge having a really good time. And right now I'm joined by a great friend of RealAgriculture.com, Heather Watson from Farm Management Canada. Heather, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going really well, thanks. Love the show.
Yeah, so it's great to have you here in our little studio. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's such a nice ambiance and everyone's chatting in the background, but you know, the action's all here.
If you come in the afternoon, we even give guests beer.
Oh, well, shoot, we should rebook this. Probably
rebook.
I'm busy.
So, okay, you're hosting a concurrence, two concurrents, and it's a bit of a topic of, which is obviously near and dear to your heart, the 7 effective tendencies, trends, or tactics that the top farm managers are exhibiting. Is that kind of the best way to put it?
Yeah, it's kind of the best way to put it. A little stumpy.
People like lists.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you kind of have to get to the point, to be honest. I mean, they want to know what they're coming for, especially at a conference like this. There's so many great sessions that you want to give people an idea of what they're in for. So, yeah, we did a study a couple years ago now, but it's still absolutely relevant. And we looked at the business management practices of farmers across Canada, across commodities, everything you can imagine, demographics, and then compared that to their financial results. And so we were able to do the first study that establishes a measurable link between business management practices and financial performance. And so it ends up there's 7 practices that have that measurable link that say, basically, this is your recipe for success. If you do nothing else, do these 7 things or even one of these 7 things, and you're going to be better off financially.
So did you actually look at the difference in profitability between the people that exhibit 1 of those 7 versus 7 of those 7?
We kind of did it across the board. So we said those that are doing business practices in general, and we did it on a degree basis. So it wasn't just, do you have a business plan, yes or no? It was, do you have a business plan that you develop with your farm team, that you review on a regular basis, that includes your goals and includes your it was very intense and kind of degrees of answers. So, and then we took kind of anyone ranking kind of 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 and compared those with anyone ranking 1, 2, or 3, etc., and to their finances.
Well,
it's across the board. Basically, the study says no matter what commodity, no matter what region, no matter what age, this applies to you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cuts across all boundaries.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm hoping that, I'm in the insight business, so I'm really hoping people's commitment to learning and being curious is in that top 7. Is it? If it's not, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no. So the good news is, I mean, when we did the study, we didn't know what answer we would get. We thought we might work ourselves out of a job, to be honest, because, maybe there is no correlation and maybe business planning isn't what it's cracked up to be. But actually, in the 7 practices, and we were shocked and excited by this because this is our business, was the number 1 practice driving farm profitability is lifelong learning and your commitment to building your skills.
Fantastic. Yeah. Good for both of us.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so coming to a conference like this, all the farmers, and there's 1,700 or 2,000 farmers here, and they're all doing that number 1 practice, which is great. It means they're going to stay at the leading edge because they're willing to learn and they're curious about what's going on out there and how does it apply to my farm.
Okay, so what are some of the other things?
Some of the other things are, a big lesson, I guess, is you don't have to be a jack of all trades. You don't have to be everything to everyone at all times. Hire advisors. Do the things you're passionate about. Do the things you love to do and that you're good at, and you will excel at those things. And if you're not so good at the books or you're not interested or HR, something like that, then hire it out. There's people out there willing to help you. Surround yourself with good, talented people, and you'll be way better off than trying to do it all yourself. That was one of the practices.
So that's changing the mindset, though, because for a long time we wore it as a bit of a badge of courage or honor that farmers are able to be a jack of all trades and do all sorts of things, whether it's from the books to the driving the tractor. Yeah. We don't have to do that.
No, and I think it's a bit of a generational piece as well. And the culture of agriculture is kind of doing everything yourself and you're the best at it.
Independence.
Exactly, independence and pride, but really looking at, not working necessarily harder, but working smarter.
Cool. What else is on the list?
Else on the list is the business plan piece is very important. Yep. So, and there's a few different ones that touch on planning. So financial planning and risk management planning as well. And the idea is, every year you want to be looking at what's going on out there in the world, what's going on in the farm, even the farm landscape in terms of how are we communicating, how are we getting along, who's joining the farm, who's exiting the farm, etc. Looking at internally as well as externally, and then building the plan that satisfies everyone's needs, trying to get everyone on board. And it's not the plan that matters, it's the process going through implementing the plan, monitoring it, because the plan can change and that's totally fine, no problem. Because a lot of farmers think, oh, once I have a plan, I mean, the industry is so vast in risk, and there's things being thrown at me all the time. How can we possibly plan?
Why would I even bother starting?
Exactly. We get that all the time. We say, but it's not the plan specifically, it's the process of going through it, and you have that reference document. Yesterday somebody said, it's kind of like when they put rumble strips on the side of the road. And the plan is there as your rumble strip. So you have something to kind of keep you grounded no matter what happens. You're not going to fall off the edge because you've taken the time to plan what you want to accomplish and figured out what you need to do to change in order to get where you want to be.
Yeah, we talk about this lots in risk management, where you need to think about some of the possibilities. So if you are confronted with that outcome, you kind of have an idea what you would do in that circumstance. You're not having to kind of go through the whole decision-making process from square one.
Exactly, and I love the word possibilities because oftentimes we think of risk as a very bad thing. Risk is uncertainty. It could lead to bad things. It could lead to good things. So there's risk, there's opportunity as well. And so if you're not assessing where you are today and where you want to be, you don't know if you can seize an opportunity. If land comes up for sale, for example, is that a good decision, a bad decision? I don't know, but it could be a very good opportunity for you, but you have to check back with your plan and see, is it feasible? Does it make sense now? Does it make sense later? So you have something that's grounding you in your decision making.
Well, you talk about planning. The fact that that's a living document.
Yes.
It's not like Fred Flintstone where you're writing it into slate and here's our plan for the next 10 years. We shall not detour from this. And I think a lot of times it has to include that feedback, that review. How did it go? What was good? What was bad? What could we have done differently? So it gets back to the learning thing. We're always learning.
And I think sometimes as well we focus on not necessarily the negative, but we focus on, what can we improve, which is good. We want to do that. But we also want to take time to celebrate our successes, because oftentimes, and we find this in agriculture specifically and in family businesses specifically, we kind of just want to get on with it and we don't take the time to celebrate, we did really well here. We might not hit the mark here, but here's where we did hit the mark, and what are we going to do to celebrate that? What are we going to do to mark the occasion? So the business plan and the evaluation gives you an opportunity to actually appreciate everyone around you and everyone helping you, and focus on making those successes even greater and investing in your success rather than dwelling on things that could be improved all the time.
Was there a biggest surprise for you when you saw the list? Was there a surprise where it's like, wow, that's on the list? Or was it kind of a confirmation of a lot of the work you've been doing?
Do you know what? The biggest surprise was the number one. We didn't think that, because sometimes you think a question like lifelong learning and skill building, we're thinking, maybe it's wishy-washy, maybe it's a little, I don't know, airy-fairy, as it were. So we were really surprised when that actually made number one. Honestly, I thought the number one would be something like having, financial data. Like there's so much concentration on finances and which are important, but the fact that learning trumps finances and trumps, all the other stuff out there is pretty refreshing.
As you look across this trade show floor, there's a lot of companies that are really focused on, that could be in machinery or software, but there's a lot of people focused in technology.
Yeah.
Did technology make the list?
Technology didn't make the list per se, but I think it would go hand in hand with business planning and being open to innovation, open to ideas. And again, the lifelong learning is curiosity. So I think, the people at this show are looking at new technology in terms of drones, but also there's new technology in terms of business. And we don't think about that all the time. We think of technology in terms of science and biotech and all that wonderful stuff. But there's technology in the way that you manage a business.
It cuts a wide swath.
Yeah, there's technology in assessing your business skills and comparing that to your financial outcomes and being like, oh, maybe I need to invest a little bit more in HR and that would make a difference to the bottom line. So technology isn't just about plant science or animal science, it's about your business practices too.
Well, your team does a great job at Farm Management Canada. Tell the audience a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Farm Management Canada, we started in 1992 after basically they looked at the financial crisis of the 1980s and they said, how can we prevent this from happening again, or at least be more prepared for this?
Not have 20% interest rates? That'd be a good start.
Something like that.
Okay.
So it was kind of, okay, let's sit up, and business management came out as, it's going to help us prepare, not to say we can prevent all the risk that's going to happen, but at least we can establish that safety net for ourselves, a safety helmet, as it were. So we were established by a FedProv territorial working group as an organization that would be a umbrella for business management activities and really, champion business management as a foundation for success. And so, 25 years ago last year, we were started, and so we remain a national non-for-profit organization that focuses on advancing business management practices through education.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for joining us here today.
Oh, thanks very much. My pleasure.